Hello everyone, and welcome to Sethaldor's World of Warcraft Guides. Today we are going to cover PvE Protection Paladin Specking. So, for choosing Protection, we earn the ability Avenger's Shield, which causes us to throw our shield hitting 3 targets, silencing them all, no longer dazing them as it used to. We also gain the passive talent bonus Touched by the Light, which increases total stamina by 15%, spell hit chance by 6%, and spell power by 60% of our strength. We also gain the ability Vengeance, which all tank specs get now. Each time we take damage, we gain 5% of the damage taken as attack power up to a maximum of 10% of our health. So that AP increase can only achieve 10% of our maximum health. Next, we also get Judgments of the Wise, which gives us 30% of our base mana back over 10 seconds every time we judge. At level 80, we earn the Mastery of Protection called Divine Bulwark, which increases your chance to block melee attacks by 16%, and each point of mastery increases that chance by an additional 2%. Protection Paladins use the holy magic to shield themselves and defend allies from attackers. In the first row, we have Divinity, which provides 6% healing done to and by us increase. That means when we heal ourselves, it is an effective total of 12% increase. Next, we also have Seals of the Pure, which increases damage done from Seal of Righteousness, Truth, and Justice. Considering that we are going to have one of those 3 on at all times, 12% effectiveness increase from that is a given. Also in the first row, we have Eternal Glory, which gives our Word of Glory a 30% chance to not cause Holy Power, the resource used to cast it, effectively making this spell potentially possible to spam. Next, we have Judgments of the Just, which reduces the melee and range attack speed of the target by 20% for 20 seconds. In addition, it increases the duration of our Seal of Justice effect by 1 second. They change Seal of Justice, it no longer has a chance to stun the target, it simply slows their run speed to slightly lower than normal run speed. Primarily PvP talent, but if you so choose to pick it up, by all means do so. I'm skipping it. Next, we have Toughness, which increases armor value from items by 10%. 10% more armor means more DR. More DR means less damage taken, which is an important part of tanking. Next, we also have Improved Hammer of Justice, which decreases the cooldown of our stun spell by 20 seconds. I have no intention of stunning a boss that cannot be stunned, therefore the 20-second reduction is largely useless for me. So I will take Eternal Glory, as there are bonuses to healing yourself. Next, we have Hallowed Ground, which increases the damage of Consecrate by 40% and decreases its mana cost by 80%. It should be noted that Consecrate has changed to have a 10-second duration, a 30-second cooldown, and a ridiculous mana cost. So the decrease of the mana cost is very nice, as well as increased damage increases your damage per mana spent. This is a nice talent, however, let's look at the rest of the row first. Sanctuary is your required tanking talent, if you will, because it provides you with 6% reduced chance to be critically hit by melee attacks, which is your uncrittable status that everyone was so worried about when defense rating was around. Next, you also get a free 10% DR from this ability, and also when you block or dodge, you gain 3% of your maximum mana. Pretty self-explanatory, and pretty much one of the best general stat-increasing talents for a prot pally. It should be noted that this used to be a buff, and now is a passive bonus you cannot provide to other people. Next, we have Hammer of Righteous, which has been converted to a Holy Thunderclap for Paladins. It provides 36% weapon damage to all enemies within 8 yards of the Paladin, and does holy damage to them as well. This also gives you a charge of Holy Power, which is used for other abilities. This shares a cooldown with Crusader Strike, so while single target tanking or mob tanking, you will be using Crusader Strike, while AoE tanking with a boss and adds or a bunch of trash, you will be using Hammer of the Righteous. Of course, you need to pick this up. It is one of your important attacks. Finally, we have Wrath of the Lightbringer, which increases damage done by 60% of your Crusader Strike and Judgment, and increases the critical strike chance of 30% of your Holy Wrath, which now hits everything and specifically stuns undead and demons, and your Hammer of Wrath also receives the crit increase. I would take it just for the 60% damage increase from Crusader Strike and Judgment, because that is ridiculously uber. You want that. That will help with your threat gen like nothing else. Next, we have my old favorite Reckoning, which got a minor buff. You have a 20% chance after blocking an attack for your next 4 weapon swings within 8 seconds to generate an additional attack. This is excellent because you generate twice as much threat from your white hits in the same time you would create normal threat while this is procced, as well as you stack your censure higher, which is the debuff provided by your Seal of Truth. The faster you can stack your censure, the higher hitting your judgment will be, which, if you recall, we just increased the damage of. So you definitely want Reckoning, especially with all the blocking you'll be doing. Next is Shield of the Righteous, which is essentially a Holy Shield Slam still. It is powered by Holy Power instead of mana. For each point of Holy Power you have, it will do increased damage, capping out at 120%. At 1 and 2 Holy Power, it does significantly less, and frankly is not worth casting. So you want 3 Holy Power to do 120% attack power damage. Definitely want to pick this up. Creates massive threat gen when you hit it with 3 Holy Power. And finally for this row, my favorite new protection talent, Grand Crusader. When your Crusader strike, Hammer of the Righteous, deal damage to your primary target, there's a 20% chance of resetting the cooldown on your Avenger's Shield. That means that it will be ready to go, ready to cast 20% of the time when you use Crusader Strike or Hammer of Righteous. You want to pick this up, as Avenger's Shield is still a hefty majority of threat. Next row we have Vindication, which used to be a Retribution talent that moderately decreased the target's AP. Now it reduces the damage they do by a total of 10% for 30 seconds, effectively giving you an additional 10% DR. In addition, your Hammer of Justice will interrupt creatures that are immune to stuns, making this viable in a PvE boss fight. Also, we have Holy Shield, which used to be an active ability and now is passive, and it procs when you use Shield of the Righteous or Inquisition, your ability earned at level 81, and what it does is increase your block chance by 15%. By earning this, you increase the proc chance of Reckoning, as well as reduce the damage you take when you block. And this, coupled with your Mastery bonus, is a total of 31% increased block chance on top of your base block chance. So you'll be earning Reckoning, as well as the mana bonus from Sanctuary, fairly frequently. Next we have Guarded by the Light, which increases the healing done by Word of Glory by 60% when used to heal yourself. This, in addition with Divinity, provides an additional 72% healing caused by Word of Glory, creating 172% of its original effect. Any overhealing done causes it to create a bubble around you, absorbing more incoming damage, so no healing is wasted. Also, when you cast Word of Glory, it also procs Holy Shield. So by casting Word of Glory, you get healed for 172% of its original effectiveness, earn a bubble, earn 15% increased block chance, and on top of that, it may not even consume the Holy Power because you spec'd into Eternal Glory. Next, we have Divine Guardian, which provides everyone but yourself 20% DR for 6 seconds. If you're main tanking, pick up Vindication. If you're off tanking, pick up Divine Guardian. And with your last point, backfill Wrath of the Lightbringer. Next row, Sacred Duty. Your judgments have a 50% chance of making your next Shield of the Righteous a critical strike. That buff lasts 15 seconds. It's nice, but I'm not always ready to use Shield of the Righteous when I get this proc, because Shield of the Righteous is only primarily effective with 3 Holy Power, and I may want to use Word of Glory, or I may not even have 3 Holy Power when I get this proc, so it is largely wasted. This could be easily improved by making it Shield of the Righteous or Word of Glory, making it a free crit. Next talent is Shield of the Templar, which reduces the cooldown of Avenger's Shield by 9 seconds, Guardian of Ancient Kings, your level 85 ability, by 3 minutes, and your Avenging Wrath by 1 minute. All of those things are excellent, self-explanatory, and very nice to pick up. I would suggest all 3 points in that one. You have 2 more points to spend, which could be placed anywhere in the protection tree. I personally am going to grab Hallowed Ground. Finally, we get the last point in protection, which is Ardent Defender. This used to be passive and is now an activated buff, which reduces damage taken by 20%, and if I receive a killing blow in the 10 seconds this ability is active, I will be healed for 15% of my maximum health, instead of die. The killing blow has to be received while this is active. Definitely pick it up. Now, we have 5 more points to spend in anywhere we want. I'm going to pick up Arbiter of the Light for 12% increased judgment crit, because I also increased my judgment's damage by 60% with Wrath of the Lightbringer. For further information on the Row 1 talents in Holy and Ret trees, please check out my Holy and Ret spec guides. In Retribution, I'm going to grab Crusade for 30% increased Crusader Strike and Hammer of the Righteous damage. This has been PvE Protection Specking with Sethaldor the Kingslayer on the server Blade's Edge in the Guild Sacrilege. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed my video. Please leave feedback and suggestions in the comments section below. And thank you for watching. I can't wait to see you again, and I hope that this was helpful.